with your black hair. It's like we should come in. It's Tuesday, and love is alive, perpetuated by the.
I love Valentine's Day. I just happen to be
Love
very
is alive, perpetuated by capitalism.
I don't own a lot of red.
It's a Hallmark holiday, man.
I swear, I'm not bitter or depressed.
No. Oh, okay, they're all.
I'm not bitter or depressed. I'm bitter and depressed.
Is the link is up? If it's good to go, I'm gonna close off of YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't like the secondary noise.
So you put it in the.
Yeah, it's in here.
Yeah.
I could actually check the page. I was going to see the Matt Damon Great Wall of China movie. I just thought Matt Damon on one of the things there. Yeah.
I just love his reasoning. Somebody asked him, like, why are you doing this movie?
A lot of money.
A ton of money.
Yeah, because Chinese people, like, I didn't know this until I went there. They are just like obsessed with American culture.
Yeah.
And like all their advertisements are all like white people.
Yeah.
And as they call them, Lao-I, foreigners.
Do you know my favorite thing I encountered when I went to Poland? It's Tuesday, February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. This is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including 3 schools losing power and a Stratford family displaced after a fire and much more. Frank Granito will have a look at the forecast and a Nutmeg sports update later on, and Donald Eng will join us to take a look back on this day in history. But first, due to yesterday's high winds, 3 Monroe schools lost power but were still able to finish out the day. Monroe Superintendent Jim Agostine said Monday that Jockey Hollow Middle School, Stepney Elementary, and Fawn Hollow Elementary lost power in the afternoon. Eversource was on the scene. Jockey Hollow had heat, but the 2 elementary schools did not. But the superintendent said that temperatures held in a comfortable zone. No word yet on whether or not power has been fully restored, but you can follow MonroeCourier.com for updates. And Stamford fire officials said an assistant fire chief was suspended earlier this month over safety violations at a house fire. Assistant Chief Robert Morris fell through the floor at a North Stamford house at a January 21st fire. Fire Chief Trevor Roach and Morris said Morris's actions included safety concerns and told the Stamford Advocate he wouldn't comment on the issues, citing personnel matters. The suspension ended on February 3rd. Morris, who was the highest ranking official at the blaze, was able to free himself and was uninjured. Stamford has both career and volunteer firefighters. And 3 Stratford families were forced out of their homes last Thursday after a fire at a building on Thompson Street. Firefighters responded to a 3-unit apartment building at 164 Thompson Street in the afternoon. Fire Marshal Brian Lampart said crews found an active blaze in the basement of the building that worked its way up through the common utility chase that penetrated into the bathrooms on all 3 floors. 34 firefighters responded to the scene, battling the fire through the heavy snowfall that descended on Stratford that day. Firefighters from Milford responded while Bridgeport firefighters assisted with station coverage. Lampart said that fire is still under investigation. And a Brookfield woman died Saturday from injuries sustained in a skiing accident. Hearst, Connecticut media reports that 46-year-old Lisa Kelly was skiing at Mohawk Mountain Ski Area in Cornwall on Saturday when she collided with another skier, according to State Police spokesman Kelly Grant. State Police responded to the accident around 8:30 at night, and upon arrival, troopers learned that Kelly had been taken by Lifestar to Charlotte Hungerford Hospital in Torrington. She was pronounced dead at 11:15 that night. The collision occurred around 8:15 p.m., according to a statement posted on the Mohawk Mountain Ski Area Facebook page. Her death is still under investigation. And in other news, police in Meriden are looking for 5 young men they say attacked a husband and wife, apparently at random, in a supermarket and left the man unconscious. Police say the victims were walking to the Stop and Shop in Meriden on Sunday afternoon when 5 men inside a car started verbally harassing them. The men followed the couple into the store and surrounded them. When the 28-year-old man took offense when his wife was threatened, he was punched in the face and knocked down. The suspects kicked him, knocking out several teeth and knocking him unconscious. The suspects, who appeared to be in their late teens or early 20s, then fled. The victims say they did not know their assailants. And one of Wilton's oldest houses was seriously damaged after part of a tree fell on it Sunday morning. Police received a call around 9 o'clock in the morning when the tree also brought down power lines. The fire department responded as well and reported that since no one was home at the time, there were no injuries. Now, that house is pre-revolutionary, dating from 1770, according to historian Bob Russell. It was once the home of Moses Stewart, a prominent biblical scholar in the early 19th century who was born there. A graduate of Yale University, he preached at Wilton Congregational Church but declined an offer to later become a pastor. There's much more on the history of that house at wiltonbulletin.com. And in Ridgefield, town employee positions will fall under scrutiny and maybe the budget acts as the selectmen seek to hold down town spending in the upcoming budget year. A focus on positions to eliminate was raised by Selectman Bob Hebert at the board's first budget meeting Monday night. Excluding school employees, the town's basic workforce is currently 188 full-time and 47 part-time positions. There are another 208 on-call or seasonal workers who periodically work some hours, people who serve some hours as lifeguards or provide babysitting while parents are taking classes at the recreation center. Hebert felt the selectmen should closely review all positions, and First Selectman Rudy Marconi said he was open to the idea. More on that story at theridgefieldpress.com. And the town of New Canaan believes it has now enough affordable housing units to qualify for a moratorium from the state's 8-30G law so that it can prevent developers from coming in and avoiding local zoning laws by offering to build affordable housing. The official application is expected to be submitted to the state of Connecticut for the moratorium between March or April, according to a timetable outlined by the town's consultant hired to manage the process, Betty Brocious. The state may not rule on the town's application until August, according to Brocious. State Statute 8-30G allows developers to go into a town such as New Canaan where less than 10% of housing stock is deemed affordable and not be restricted by zoning laws if the development includes a number of affordable housing units. But let's switch gears now and throw it over to Frank Granito for a look at the forecast. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. We've got a beautiful Valentine's Day ahead of us, mostly sunny skies throughout the day. Temperatures in the mid-30s, not as windy today with gusts down, so we can expect a real field temperature between 32 to 35 degrees. Mostly cloudy overnight with a low of 25 degrees, and I'm going to get it right this time. Make sure you bring an extra layer out with you for dinner tonight. Mostly cloudy throughout Fairfield County tomorrow and warmer out, though, with a temperature up into the mid-40s. There is a chance for spots of rain or snow showers later in the afternoon and carrying into tomorrow evening. Any precipitation should pass, though, by tomorrow night, where we'll see patchy cloud cover and a low of 26 before Thursday morning. Strong winds are back on Thursday with gusts between 30 to 45 miles per hour. On and off periods of sun for most of the day with temperatures in the mid to high 30s. Still breezy overnight, but we'll see cloud cover start to dissipate as we head for a Friday filled with clear skies and plenty of sunshine. That's going to do it for this weather update. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, we're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, Donald Lang will take a look back on this day in history. Frank has your Nutmeg Sports Update, and we have more local news coming up after this.
We told Dad he could have his office back if he sold 150 cars last month.
Deal's a deal.
Well, Dad, you did it. You get your office back.
Forget it. I'm having too much fun down here. My new goal, 160 cars.
Wow.
Folks, if you ever wanted a great price on a new Nissan, now is the time.
Right now, lease a 2017 Altima 2.5S for only $99 a month.
Isn't it time you got Millerized?
It's all about meeting goals this year, and Trinity CrossFit of Ridgefield has experienced trainers, top-of-the-line equipment, and a newly renovated space to help get you there. Offering more classes per day than any other CrossFit gyms in the area, we cater to all fitness levels. Our coaches have a combined 10 years of experience in CrossFit, and as competitors themselves, Trinity coaches can get you ready for competition in 2017. Visit our convenient location on Route 7, Danbury Road, or find out more at trinitycrossfit.com.
Whether you're looking for the freshest seafood, the perfect steak, or want to share delicious appetizers, look no further than the Stone's Throw in Seymour. Chef Peter Hom has more than 30 years of experience creating original recipes in his American eclectic style. Our dishes are made from scratch with fresh, local ingredients that pair perfectly with a seasonal craft beer, a signature cocktail, or your favorite wine. When you visit our Riverside location, you'll feel like you're on vacation when you're only a stone's throw from home. Visit us on Roosevelt Drive in Seymour or at stonesthrowct.com. At the Milford Bank, we offer an extensive selection of lending products and services to meet virtually any need. Submit your application online in our Mortgage Web Center. Start to finish, you can apply for a loan in as little as 10 minutes. Our knowledgeable and helpful staff are available to meet with you at your convenience. To learn more about what we can do for you, stop by one of our Milford Bank offices or visit us at milfordbank.com. The Milford Bank, always there. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Wild Birds Unlimited, your one-stop shop for all your backyard bird hobby needs. Premium bird seed, freshly delivered each week. A great selection of bird feeders, houses, a patented pole system, bird baths, and a vast array of wonderful gifts of whimsy and nature. Visit us at 356 Heights Road in Darien, next to the post office and across from Norotan Heights Railroad Station. If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier Network, and we've also reached 1.7 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Welcome back to this February 14th edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and it's time to throw it over to Donald Lang to take a look back on Valentine's Day past, which were not always so romantic, Donald.
No, they really weren't. If you don't know the origins of the Valentine's Day holiday, you might want to turn away for a second, because we're going to go back to 278 CE, or thereabouts. Valentine, a Roman priest, is executed under the command of Claudius. Rome was involved in many unpopular campaigns and needed a large army but could not recruit soldiers. Emperor Claudius believed that the Roman men were not joining the army because of their attachment to their wives and families, and he solved the problem by banning marriages. Valentine defied the decree and continued to perform marriages in secret, which got him put to death. Legend has it that while in jail, he left a farewell note for the jailer's daughter, who had become his friend, and signed it, "From your Valentine." To 1929 we go, for another not-so-romantic Valentine's Day event, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre in Chicago. Wearing stolen police uniforms and heavily armed, Al Capone's men surprised Bugs Moran's men, who had agreed to line up against the wall, believing they were about to be arrested. A moment later, they were gunned down by shotguns and machine guns. 6 killed instantly. The 7th, Frank Gusenberg, survived about 3 hours despite being shot 14 times, but refused to tell police who had done it. To 2005, 3 former PayPal employees, Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, and Jawed Karam, that's Jawed right there, founded YouTube with Karam's video, Me at the Zoo, the first ever video uploaded to the site. In February of the following year, it was bought by Google for $1.6 billion. Finally, now we go to 1989 for this.
I always knew that I would write about it. It's one of the reasons that I had kept a journal through all those years. Because I'm not normally somebody who keeps journals. But in this period, I thought so much is happening with such intensity, that there's no way of remembering it. So write it down. So I did.
Now your memoirs are...
That was author Salman Rushdie talking about the 12 years he spent in hiding due to the fatwa issued today, 1989, by Iranian leader Ruhollah Khomeini. The fatwa encouraged Muslims to kill Rushdie, author of the Satanic Verses. The title refers to the Satanic Verses, a group of Quranic verses that allow intercessory prayers to be made to 3 pagan goddesses. If you've never read Rushdie, you'd probably be surprised at just how satirically comic his style is. Anyway, that is a look back in history. Happy Valentine's Day, February 14th, and I'm Donald Ng.
That was a really depressing Valentine's Day history, Don. So I guess it makes sense that I'm wearing the black turtleneck today. Appropriate.
Sometimes the history is not quite as romantic as the legend.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Don. In other local news, a GoFundMe page has been set up to help a Syrian family reunited in Milford recently after a travel ban threatened to keep them apart. So far, almost $2,000 of $3,000 goal has been raised. Samar Karout created the GoFundMe page to help his brother-in-law, Fadi Kazar, as Kazar works to create a life here for his family. Fadi Kazar's wife, Razan, and 2 daughters were barred from a flight from Kiev to JFK at the end of January due to President Donald Trump's executive order that temporarily halted flights here from certain countries. After work by a number of officials and groups, including U.S. Senators Richard Blumenthal and Chris Murphy, the family was allowed to board a plane and fly to New York. But let's throw it back now to Frank Granito for a Nutmeg Sports Update. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. The HAN Network was live yesterday at the Dorothy Hamill Skating Rink in Greenwich for a rematch of last year's FCX championship between St. Joe's and Greenwich in boys hockey. In a game that quickly turned physical, it was the Cadets that capitalized on Cardinals' mistakes to knock off the defending conference champions by a final of 5-1. St. Joe's top line dominated for most of the game as Nick Foldesi, Sean Antonesio, and Evan Bocchino all picked up multiple points and spent the majority of play in the Cardinals zone. Ryan Wilson didn't have to make the 56 saves that he did on Saturday, but had several key stops to keep the Greenwich offense at bay. Let's take a look at the highlights from St. Joe's win. For the first time, you are getting a live look at the Dorothy Hamill Skating Rink right here on the HAN Network as we get set for an FCAC Championship rematch. Puck bouncing out in front, open on the crease. Opportunity now, and they score! Out in the slot, it was Rakuya. Couple of Cardinals, and now it's on the stick of Foldesi. Pass to the front of the slot, and another goal as they score again. Evan Bocchino is going to get this one. Good motion here as they run the overload. To the far side, Bauer lets it go, and it's off the crossbar. No, it's a goal. It hit the back bar and came right out. No hesitation from the officials, and it's a 2-1 game following the power play goal. Will Coleman, Kevin.
Thanks, Frank. We had Andrew Gilbert with the assist on that one. There's a goal for St. Joe's just like that.
Presley couldn't control the rebound. Bocchino stopped on the net. He picks up another one. In the FCAC playoffs. Foldesi wants it on the back door, and the shot and score. A sliding Bauer got a piece of it, but it wasn't enough. The senior captain carries that one, and it's now 5-1 with 1:46 of power play time still to go. 2-1. And this one will come to an end. It was all Cadets from the start. As they pick up their first win in the last 6 games, it is the first loss in the month of February for the Cardinals. With the victory, the Cadets snap a 5-game winless streak and move into 3rd place now in the FCX standings with 1 game remaining on their schedule. This was the Cardinals' first loss in the month of February and now find themselves on the outside looking in at the playoff picture, trailing 6th place Stanford West Hill by 2 points. Greenwich has 3 games remaining on the schedule, including 2 against playoff teams, which have now become must-win games for the Cardinals. In other boys hockey action last night, Ridgefield squandered away a 2-goal lead in the final 2 minutes of regulation, but were able to hold off Notre Dame of West Haven 6-5 in their overtime winner. Trinity Catholic falls 9-2 to Guilford. Darien wins 7-1 against Wilton. And out of the conference, New Canaan, a 7-2 victory over Notre Dame of Fairfield. We heard that Coach Pat Gore took a slip while tending to one of his players on the ice. Luckily, there are no injuries that stem from that game. We'll have plenty more on the boys ice hockey standings. We'll also be joined by Dave Rudin this afternoon on Nutmeg Sports to talk about the impact of the Brancato brothers being excused from Fairfield Ward's basketball team and where all those teams are stacking up now with the playoff picture looming. That again at Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock. That'll do it for this Nutmeg Sports update. Let's send it back over to Katie Cupids.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, in other local news in New Canaan, State Representative Tom O'Day will hold a special education town hall tonight from 7 to 8:30 p.m. in the town hall meeting room of New Canaan Town Hall at 77 Main Street. He will discuss legislation he's introduced concerning special education. All are welcome to join the discussion, and attendees will also hear an update on the 2017 legislative session. And on Sunday, February 19th, St. Joseph High School in Trumbull will be hosting the first Miss Trumbull Scholarship Competition. The show begins at 3 and doors will open at 2:30. Ticket prices are $20 per person and free for children ages 3 and under. The Connecticut Fallen Heroes Foundation will be sponsoring that event. They're an organization dedicated to the remembrance of military service members from Connecticut who have sacrificed their lives for freedom. Miss Trumbull is a preliminary competition to Miss America, and contestants have a chance to win a scholarship of $1,000 as well as an opportunity to run for Miss Connecticut. You can get more information at TrumbullTimes.com. We're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, we're going to recap some of the top stories we're following on your coffee break after this.
On time, done right, safe and reliable. MrHandymanCT.com.
Let our satisfied customers tell it.
I have called Mr. Handyman for every reason, every occasion, every broken item, every leak. They have bailed me out on many occasions, and I would recommend them to anyone.
For any project, large or small.
MrHandymanCT.com.
Have a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Basketball, hockey, skiing, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark Building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
While there's still a bite out on the water, most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
At InSports Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Recently renovated and home to one of Connecticut's largest indoor turf fields, InSports is a multi-sport recreation center providing state-of-the-art facilities for league play, camps, and youth programs. Sign your child up now for InSports Future Stars Basketball Academy, teaching skills on the basketball court for boys and girls ages 5 through 9. Visit InSportsCenters.com for more information on this 7-week program. And for adults, spots are also still available for our men's 30 and over and 40 and over leagues. Like and follow us on Facebook.
Want a new experience in car buying? No aggravation, no confrontation, just answers to all your questions. Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Car buying the way you want it to be. With one of the largest selections of new 2- and 4-door Jeep Wranglers available, we are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Located in Fairfield, Connecticut, we're easy to get to. Just 2.5 miles off the Merritt Parkway, exit 44 via Route 58 South. Save thousands right now during the Start Something New sales event, now through January 31st.
I'm Frank Granito.
And I'm Donald Ing for the HAN Network.
Tune in to Nutmeg Sports Monday through Thursday, where we bring you all the top stories from Connecticut sports.
From highlights to player interviews and expert analysis, no one gets you closer to Connecticut's games than Nutmeg Sports.
Nutmeg Sports, now Monday through Thursday at 2 p.m. on the HAN Network.
Welcome back to this Tuesday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top stories we're following today. Stanford fire officials said an assistant fire chief was suspended earlier this month over safety violations at a house fire. Assistant Chief Robert Morris fell through the floor at a North Stanford house at a January 21st fire. Fire Chief Trevor Roach said Morris's actions included safety concerns and told the Stanford Advocate he wouldn't comment on the issues, citing personnel matters. The suspension ended on February 3rd. Morris, who was the highest-ranking fire official at the blaze, was able to free himself and was uninjured. Stanford has both career and volunteer firefighters. And 3 Stratford families were forced out of their homes last Thursday after a fire at a building on Thompson Street. Firefighters responded to a 3-unit apartment building at 164 Thompson Street on Thursday afternoon. Fire Marshal Brian Lampart said crews found an active blaze in the basement of the building that worked its way up through the common utility chase that penetrated into the bathroom on all 3 floors. 34 firefighters responded to the scene, battling the fire through heavy snowfall that day. Firefighters from Milford also responded while Bridgeport assisted with station coverage. Lampart said that fire is still under investigation. And a Brookfield woman died Saturday from injuries sustained in a skiing accident. Hearst, Connecticut media reports that 46-year-old Lisa Kelly was skiing at Mohawk Mountain Ski Area in Cornwall on Saturday when she collided with another skier, according to State Police spokesman Kelly Grant. State Police responded to the accident around 8:30 at night, and upon arrival, troopers learned Kelly had been taken by Lifestar to Charlotte Hungerford Hospital in Torrington. She was pronounced dead around 11:15 that night. The collision occurred around 8:15, according to a statement posted on the Mohawk Mountain Ski Area Facebook page. Her death is still under investigation. And police in Meriden are looking for 5 young men they say attacked a husband and wife apparently at random in a supermarket and left the man unconscious. Police say the victims were walking to the Stop and Shop in Meriden on Sunday afternoon when 5 men inside a car started verbally harassing them. The men followed the couple into the store and surrounded them. When the 28-year-old man took offense when his wife was threatened, he was punched in the face and knocked down. The suspects kicked him, knocking out several teeth and knocking him unconscious. The suspects, who appeared to be in their late teens or early 20s, then fled. The victims say they did not know their assailants. And one of Wilton's oldest houses was seriously damaged after part of a tree fell on it Sunday morning. Police received a call around 9 in the morning when the tree also brought down power lines. The fire department responded as well and reported that since no one was home at the time, there were no injuries. That house is pre-revolutionary, dating from 1770, according to historian Bob Russell. It was once the home of Moses Stewart, a prominent biblical scholar in the early 19th century. But you can get more on the history of that home at wiltonbulletin.com. And finally, love is in the air throughout the month of February, including at the Connecticut Beardsley Zoo. Now, courtship rituals at the zoo, like everywhere in the world, are wildly diverse, according to staff. A male otter may bite the female's nose to show he's interested. Swans engage in an elaborate dance, synchronizing their movements. Well, at the zoo, lifelong lovers include wolf pairs and howler monkeys. And the zoo recently received a new female Amur tiger, Chang, in hopes of creating future offspring with the resident male tiger. Now, successful breeding programs at the Beardsley Zoo have resulted in a baby giant anteater, Amur tiger cubs, guinea hog piglets, as well as Nigerian dwarf goats, red wolf pups, gold lion tamarins, and North American river otter pups. So some success there at the Beardsley Zoo, but you can get more information at beardsleyzoo.org. Frank, always nice to end on photos of adorable animals, yes? Would you agree?
Yes, of course.
But what's happening in the forecast?
Let's end it with the weather one more time here. Another beautiful Valentine's Day coming up. Mostly sunny skies, temperatures in the mid-30s. Not as windy out today, so that will really feel like 32 to 35 degrees. Mostly cloudy overnight with temperatures dropping down to around 25. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies, warmer out with temperatures in the mid-40s. There is a chance for some spots of rain or snow showers later in the afternoon that will carry into tomorrow evening, but any precipitation should pass by tomorrow night. We'll see patchy cloud cover and a low of 26 before Thursday morning. Strong winds back on Thursday between 30 to 45 miles per hour, on and off periods of sun for most of the day with temperatures in the mid to high 30s, but it will start to clear up overnight before what should be a clear and sun-filled Friday around Fairfield County. That's it for the weather. Back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, we're going to wrap things up here on your coffee break. Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock, and we will see you tomorrow for your coffee break at 11. Happy Valentine's Day.
Doesn't mean it.